Once again, we're with you on your Thursday edition of Temidlalo. Hello and welcome as we welcome you on this special edition where we look at some of the things that lighten up your past weekend, building up to the new weekend. However, just to give you a quick roundup is that this past weekend, Border to Border, second edition of Eswatini Cycling Association Border to Border was taking place. And of course, a couple of international cyclists took a part of this, I would say, recreational event where we'll have the Eswatini Cycling Association President, Mr. Zwide Ndwane, just to give us a roundup of what the event looked like. Otherwise, it was a beautiful day from Oshuk to Lavumisa. We'll also speak about similar breaks that were taken from Oshuk to Manzini to Lavumisa. Otherwise, moving on, table tennis as a sport, as an association that is trying to grow to its height, they have faced national championships in over a decade. We'll hear from some of the interviewers to get a reaction of the qualified team to represent the Kingdom of Eswatini in the upcoming international tournament in the Republic of South Africa. That's not the only sport that took place, because Eswatini Sport Council, together with the Minister of Sports, together with the Minister of Health, they held the Shuguma program in the presence of the Minister Harris Matzebulunga. Of course, it was a fun day to all the residents of the Mhlambanyatsi in Ngundla. Otherwise, we also touch on the heavy draw that was conducted yesterday, the COSAFA 2022 draw, where Sihlangu Semnigati has been drawn in a Group B alongside the neighbors Lesotho, who just announced a new head coach, the likes of Malawi. We know that they are from the Africa Cup of Nations earlier this year. So we'll also touch on that and also listen to some of the interviews during the draw. All that is going to be here live on Eswatini TV, and later on, of course, I'll be joined by your lovely, international and local analyst, Linda Dlamini. But for now, I'm already with the president, Mr. Ndwandwe Zwide.
Yes, Training FM.
Yes. On a Thursday, tournament, readiness. But before I get there, I just want to give the viewer what they missed. If they were not there, if maybe they're wondering how the event was, this is the look of the border to border, view from border, Oshuk border to Lavumisa. Some of the ins and outs, the highlights of the event over the past weekend. Beautiful stuff, quite refreshing from the viewer, of course, at home, and good work done by the product. Now, let's talk about the event itself. The president is already in my company, Mr. Zwide, Eswatini Cycling Association. Zwide, the event, the second edition, Gokkalanjil was a success. How big was it for you?
It was quite a big success for us, especially looking at the numbers. Let's about now, because we're looking at officially in terms of the people who actually registered for the event. It was 144, but of course we know with Laba figures about coming on the day, so it goes up to about 170 or so in total people who actually partook in this event, and then we had close to 20 of them coming from SA, and hoping with next year we'll be having a lot more visitors as well, and also more locals coming in, because one of the things one of the questions that we constantly had to answer in the build-up was, I have a mountain bike, so if I have a mountain bike, can I come through? If I have whatever kind of bike, I'm still new in this, can I come through? So we're hoping as this event gathers momentum, we'll have more people coming in to join and actually ride and enjoy themselves in this particular space.
Beautiful stuff. We take it into stages because we want to look at how things were done. Remember, when you highlighted the race the tournament, rather the competition on Thursday last week, you mentioned that it's going to be in stages from Oshuk to Manzini and then Manzini to Lavumis. Now let's talk about from Oshuk to Manzini. You're part of the crew as well. From the starting point, so that one would think probably it's midnight at some point, but knowing that this time of the season, of course, at 5 in the morning it is as dark. Look at how now the crew left the Oshuk border. You're part of the crew, the cold as well, but the dedication of the cyclist on the day. Yes, this is from the border. This is, I think, by Lobamba, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, yeah. Take us through from these pictures.
I think from the border,
yes,
up until Eswatini or so, yes, that's where you see the dedication in my cyclists, because at the border, you start at 5 a.m., temperature probably around 4 degrees Celsius. So that's one of the things that we're going to actually test your resolve as a cyclist, because if you really want to do this, you have to still climb up that Goyoyo mountain.
Yes.
So it's quite a great experience, because you start in the blistering cold in Ngwenya. And as you can actually even feel your body as you take the stages of the ride, because now and it's getting warmer. Also coupled with the warm welcome that you actually get Kamanzini, where we actually now shed a few more clothes. So that's how it all comes.
Where are we at this stage now?
At Somfelo Park,
yes,
well, formerly known as
Gamanzini, yes,
formerly known as Jubilee Park, where Manzini, the municipal council of Manzini, they host us for breakfast. So each time we start Oshuk, we have to make that breakfast stop 10 to 15 minutes in Manzini, where they actually usher us into town, have us for breakfast there with a few speeches from Eswatini Tourism Authority, who are one of our key partners, and also the Municipal Council of Manzini. We're happy that Manzini Sakanza Gutsigune Matolopa Lamanya were represented there, because we're going to see, for instance, like Matsapa Town Council, we're going to see Mangayane Town Board as well, who also was riding with MTN Kemani on the day, which is quite a good indicator for us, because now it means we can now go into those towns to actually start conversations to say what cycling events can we have in those towns, and how then can they bolster their economic activity within those towns using cycling.
All right, this is the breakfast you're referring to earlier on the program. Of course, this is part of the cyclists on the day. I can see some of the representatives from the Manzini municipality, of course, taking their time just to award. I want us to also talk about another issue that pertains to the level of maybe consistency, in as much as it wasn't a competition, but I saw a sort of like from the clips just now how some of the athletes, the junior championships, included how they looked competitive. I can see you trying to organize people to take pictures there. What are you saying? What are you trying to ensure that everything is going accordingly?
No, I'm just trying to remind them, because they're taking a picture with the president, so they need to look the part. No, I'm just joking. It's always a pleasure to be in the company of my cyclists, especially because they're always in high spirits and always looking forward to enjoying themselves. And of course, then some use the same space, because we come in, it's a social event, it's more about social cohesion, it's more about getting along as cyclists from different clubs, different countries, different parts of the country, coming together and actually enjoying this event. But of course, we have within our deep in our DNA as cyclists, there's always that competitive edge. So instead of, for instance, organizing a training ride somewhere else in some other parts of the country, you find that people or some cyclists or some athletes would rather than have their own training camp or rather training ride within the same ride that's happening, because everyone is chasing different goals. Some of us are chasing their time from last year to say, I have a time to beat from the past year. Some of us are just there for the pictures. Some of us are just there to showcase our new kits or new whatever, new bikes and whatnot, or just enjoy the vibe, the company. So it's different. It's a melting pot basically of different different intentions, different paths. But at the end of the day, it's all about cycling. It's all about what the sport is all about.
All right. Yeah. Now, they have it. That was the first phase. Now, from Oshuk to Manzini, center, that's where they took a break. We're just going to get some reactions from some of the cyclists on the day, including some of the, some senior officials who were there on the day, just to get the reaction before we move to the second part of from Manzini to the end point, the finishing point, which is the Lavumisa border. Listen to some of the reactions coming from the cyclists on the day at Manzini.
Look, so far so good. The road is fine, and yeah, it's tough, but it's doable. Yeah, I believe there's about 180 more kilometers to go. So yeah, it's my first time, but yeah, I'll be making it an annual thing. Sorry. Yeah, I'm more of an endurance rider. Last year, October, I cycled one man to Durban. So yeah. From Springs. I'm looking forward. I'll take it as it comes, yeah.
All right, thanks for your time.
Pleasure.
Kwamanje kusasemnanzi siya-understanda ukuthi lo hambo lusaseluthe kakhulu njengoba sisuke eNgwenya siya kaLavumisa, so njengoba sila kaManzini manje hayi kusasengcono kakhulu, so sibheke phambili nje ukuthi-ke si-enjoy lena ride because it's not a race but it's a fun ride. So we are from South Africa, we came just to enjoy with the Swazi cyclist. And what I like the most with the Kingdom of Swaziland, it's the routes for cycling. It's very challenging because it's mountainous. Unlike where we're coming from, I'm from Witbank in South Africa. There, it's a flat route. So now, yeah, it's a big challenge for me, but I enjoy it. I'll keep the pace with the guys.
President, so far, how's the race?
Get better. That's the summary of it. Get better, but it's out there. We've done 55 so far. I'm going to 50, we are 240 minus 55 passing by. Like they're going to Temidlalo, so the target is 240. We've done 55 in 2 hours, 20 minutes. So we still have a long way to go. But the numbers are good, it's exciting. We're happy to see everyone come around, come through for the ride. But in such time, final polish. But the next stage, it's also going to polish. But we are happy so far. Just 7 days, but no happy.
So far, how's the ride?
It's not as smooth as last year's. It's a bit rough, but it's doable.
It's doable. You're not even halfway yet. You're still in Eswatini.
Yes.
Do you think you'll make it to Lavumisa?
I hope so. I believe so. But if I don't, hey, I'll have tried.
All right. We'll be following you and seeing if you make it safely.
Thank you. Make sure you have lots and lots of goodies to support me, like drinks, ORS, salts, just those things. Otherwise, thank you.
So far, so good. It was just a chill, but in Manzini it's warmer, so it's all good. Looking forward to the rest of the ride. I think we'll finish in good in good condition, great condition actually.
All right.
The
Thank you.
peloton is good. The speed is good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Sure.
Now, from what I just learned is that the fitness of Mr. President is very questionable, because amongst all the interviews that we just heard, they looked very relaxed and comfortable. Unlike him, he looked so tired, and I think he couldn't just ask more than staying away from the camera, if that was possible, but he was put on the spotlight. But different social responsibilities being played by different organizations, athletes, cyclists also coming from South Africa, giving their, their reactions to the tournament, loving the roads, loving the fun of the day. But now, that was part one. Part two, you move from Manzini to Lavumisa, where the hard part is, where now you want to see if people really are passionate about the sport, where you want to see now if the invites that you say that you've put out there, telling people to come in their numbers, if now they merit it. Now, this is the second phase. Take us through it.
Yeah, the second phase is a bit tougher, because now you're basically working drought. I think when you're starting from Oshuk to Manzini, it's nice because it's climbing for the first maybe 7 kilometers or so, and then Manenga and Lama downhills. But from Manzini, you figure Galavumisa, it's a bit tougher. As you can see on the visuals there, we have the Kumalos. That's a father and son trio, which is actually a nice touch, building up to Father's Day. They rode from Oshuk to Lavumisa together, side by side, as you can see them there. So the Manzini to Lavumisa stretch is quite nice, but very, very demanding. It requires you to now start get yourself into a group that you feel comfortable with in terms of the riding the pace, so that utakhona kuprotecteka from the wind, especially utakhona ku ride all the way. So it calls now for more of the endurance. Like I was saying earlier in that interview, because we are aging that thing.
The cooperation of also the motorists, the other people using the roads, how was it challenging? Maybe it's just maybe from the visuals or not seeing mostly the police, but people also using the roads, cars passing next to you. Can see also from this picture, what we just saw crossing. Was it challenging maybe for you guys in terms of maybe ensuring that you share the same roads with people?
I think first it's just be to commend the police service. I think they were very good to us on the day. From Oshuk all the way to Lavumisa, they were very visible. They helped control traffic where it needed to be controlled, but also the motorists on the day as well. They were very, very patient, because you get to, for instance, there's a stretch from Baga to Lukula, where the road there are a lot of roadworks that are happening there, so the road is a bit narrow. So you have to be patient with the cyclists as they pace their way through to get into the Lonhlupego stretch. So it was very encouraging to see motorists being calm, motorists being able to give cyclists the right of way, and actually even give us some cover in some instances, so that we could ride as safely as we did, because at the end of the day we had no incidents in terms of people being bumped by cars and whatnot. Then of course there are the stray animals, which are a headache for every road user, which is an issue that we need to actually continuously advocate for and actually address as a country. But overall, I think the cooperation from the general society, the wider society, was very encouraging and very quick.
I saw a little bit of a competition towards the end. Let's take a look at the pictures towards the end. Now, as the moment of glory maybe comes, no one was declared as, hey, you're the champions, but knowing that you're close to the finishing point, there was a bit of competition from the pictures, as you can see. Now, it looks like now it's now becoming a race. These are some of the familiar faces. Now, let's talk about now what it means at this stage. You're left with probably 20 to 15 minutes. You want to ensure that you beat your clock, like you mentioned. Last year you did 3 hours, 45 minutes. This year maybe you want to do 3 hours and 15 minutes. I can see now the tightness in the cyclist minds towards the end. Take us through before maybe we listen to the interviews. I love Miss.
I think this is the forever gang.
Yes.
The forever trio from Forever Cycling.
Yeah, from Mr.
They're led by Mr. Clinton McNamara.
Yes.
They're always racing.
Yes.
I think they're preparing for the national road championships, which are coming up in a week. and also for the Forever Fast and Furious race, which is scheduled for the 10th of July.
Yes.
So as you can see, the one in the white is our national junior champion.
This one?
Yeah, no,
No,
the one
this one.
in the white kit.
Yes.
And I think the two others are vying for, are actually vying for that title
Yes.
in the upcoming national championship. So as you can see, already things are heating up. They are always in a competitive mood, but very, very cooperative with everyone within the cycling space.
All right. Now, things were on a good note, of course, as they move from Manzini to Lavumisa. Some of the reactions also we got from people when they now reached at the finishing point, that is the Lavumisa point. Remember, they left early as 5 in the morning. Now, at this point in time, we're hitting around 3 in the afternoon, 3 p.m. What is some of the cyclists had to say about their performance on the day?
Really nice day. Thanks to the organizers and thanks to the Lord to provide such beautiful weather for us to ride. The roads were mostly okay. It's just when we left Skupe on the other side by Lukula, a lot of mist. You couldn't even see 5 meters. But we survived it. We had a backup vehicle helping us with the lights on. And with me, I'm just here because of the boys. I'm coaching the boys. These are the juniors. That's the junior champ, under 16 champ, and the guy over here. I'm just helping them to get some mileage in before the nationals on the 26th of June. And thanks to the organizers, this was very nice.
Ula Elavumisa, your thoughts about everything today?
Sure. Everything hambe kahle ngicela ukubamba. Hey, hambe kahle sikhathele namanje. Siceda ukufika but yeah, yonke into ihambe right. Njengoba ngishilo ekuqaleni, i-route be right, ama-marshals endleleni besi safe, so yonke into be right.
Okay, khuluma nge-route ukuthi be right. Sikutfole kaManzini. And do you think the route ivele yaflowa all the way down or bekakhona ama-uphills amancane there and there?
We had rolling hills, false flats. Yes, false flats, but yeah, other than that, yeah, no, be sharp from Manzini until here.
It was very nice. I've never done it before, so this is a challenge. Coming all the way from Manzini to Lavumisa, 180 k's, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The weather was perfect. The route isn't very hard, not very challenging. Just the distance is the challenge, but we managed. It was a great turnout, great fun.
Awesome. Others were using this as a preparation for the nationals coming up. Likewise, is that the same to you?
Yeah, I am prepared already. This is just a nice extra mileage on my legs, but we can't wait for the next 2 weeks to see what happens on nationals race.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Nontsikelelo, you're at Lavumisa finally. Uqale kuphi and how was your ride?
Ngiqale kaManzini. The ride was fun, fast but fun. It was really fun. Well, it was called Ekseni and I was with Bonzuzo and those boys were killing me, but it was a great challenge and I made it. I'm here now. It was actually the first time in Raidanabo and I managed to stay in a peloton with them, so that was a good sign.
Okay, is this your first one or second one, and would you do this again?
First border to border ever, yes, I will definitely do it again. Probably a longer distance next time. But yeah, the 180 was lacquer, it was good.
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
Ngicale Oshuka Ngwenya. It was chilling, it was cold, but for the love of the game, we had to stay on until we got to Lavumisa. It was a beautiful ride. The challenge is what we came for. We came for the challenges, we got them, we conquered, and we are proud. It was beautiful to see so many cyclists from all the clubs coming out to have a great day on the road. I think we've been denied racing. We also had cyclists from South Africa, and it was just beautiful. It was more than just cycling. It was a family affair. Networking, seeing beautiful people, and yeah, we loved it.
Sicabanga ukuthi kube ngumsebenzi lomhle kakhulu ukusuka kulaba labasuke Oshuk MVA fund sibajoyine kaManzini for their breakfast pep talk sabe sihamba sesiya sethapha MR16 lapha ngakashoba labe khona besende water station khona. We saw most of the cyclists labasuke Oshuk labasuke airport nalaba labasuke kulukhula sahamba nabo, and then now we are here. And I think most of them sebafikile la sebancane labangemuva, and we are very happy ukuthi besibuka indaba tekuphepha emgwaqweni. Up to this moment we are happy ukuthi kude lokwendekile, and we hope the spirit of cycling will always be accompanied by safety on the road.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It went well because I think I was the first one Dr. Lengwenya kufika kalavumisa. Kaleng swing bicycle Lengwenya ngafika bicycle kalavumisa. I don't think it matters much what happened in between. I'm joking. But of course I rode from Ngwenya to Lavumisa, to Moneni, sorry. Then on Moneni I got on a car to just make sure everything is moving well on the route, and then I got to Nisela and rode again. So I did 100 Ks in total. It was good. I think the turnout is good. The feedback so far has been good. So we're hoping we can only learn and grow from what we've done today.
Now, some of the clubs that took part of the event that include new comrades, talk about Gusekai Cycling Club, talk about MTN Kemani Cycling Club, Forever Cycling Club, international bodies that include Boma Cycling Club from the Republic of South Africa, and other private individuals. Now, we've heard everything. We've heard also Mr. William Kelly, one of the veteran in the sport. He touched on the Mhlaga 26, the national champs. Now, there's a lot. We just also heard from you. You don't have to say again, but let's build up to Mhlaga 26 before we let you go. How do you think the national championships will look like, having seen this border to border? It's sort of like a recreational event. It wasn't a competitive event, but it gave you a proper picture of what you could taste in your first national championship as the president.
Yeah. I think the national championships are going to be fire. That's basically what I can say, because remember we have two boys whom we are sending to the Commonwealth Games.
Yes.
Muzi, the current national champion, and also Gwanele Chelo, who's also who came second last year. So fortunately, also they were on the same route on the day. Just that they were doing a different loop, because as part of their training for the Commonwealth Games, they're preparing for the race. They have a race this weekend in South Africa that they are attending. So from that race again, they are racing in the national championships. We'll also have a few other locals who feel they are strong enough to actually challenge the two now for that for those top spots. So there's a lot of competition that's happening. We have Denise, who will want to continue that claim to the female national champion, but also we have a couple of other ladies now coming up. Also, the competition within the female space is also intensifying a bit, which we are happy to see. We have Nonsi, for instance, who's Nonsi Gelelo, fresh from a 6-week training camp in Cape Town. Everyone is eager to see what's being cooked in the World Cycling Center, and hoping we will see some results of that on the national championships. On the younger boys, I think everyone is eager to see what's going to happen between the 3-4 young forever cyclists, because they are the ones who've been consistently on the podiums over the last maybe 12-16 months or so, consistently performing in South Africa and also in the local races. But when the national championships come, now that's where you tend to also then forget about team allegiances and all that. You were chasing that individual glory, but of course it's to the benefit of the team in a way. So it's basically a competition that we're actually looking forward to, and we'll be announcing final details after our final meeting on the weekend.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. President. A couple of things that I wanted to ask, but in the interest of time, it's for next time. I can see you're already enjoying your job already so far. You're expecting your first national championships. Clubs, of course, are taking pictures. I can see familiar faces. You are included in this picture, and it says a lot, of course, on the day. It was indeed a fun that cyclists managed to have on the day. Thank you very much for your, achievement in organizing a tournament of this magnitude, and it come as a success. We do hope that the national championships, of course, with no doubt, will give us a proper picture of what we just saw. Otherwise, a short break. When I come back, I'll be talking to Linda Lamina, in-house analyst, looking at also some other sporting codes that unfolded over the weekend, including national championships under the table tennis. After the break.
Pay your TV license quickly and easily with MTN Momo. Simply dial *007 *3 hash and select option 8 for TV license. Enter your national ID number as your reference and the amount you wish to pay. Then enter your PIN to confirm your payment. Once your payment has been made, you'll receive a confirmation SMS of your payment. If you're a first-time payer, you get another SMS for your TV license. So legalize your entertainment from the comfort of your home. Pay your TV license the easy and convenient way with MTN Momo.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience in the kingdom.
There it is already in the house. Our in-house analyst.
Yeah, Sibalwami, ngiyethemba ukuthi uyaphila, ngiyabonga ukumukela ehlelweni lakho ngethuba lokukhulu. Ngivusela Maluel viewers ehlelo Temidlalo. Bathanzi bato tonke Temidlalo even ufaka ikhathi cycling, ufaka ikhathi table tennis, ufaka ikhathi tekball, ufaka ikhathi athletics, ufaka ikhathi volleyball 10. Ngabala ngigcine phe Fabrice ngicabanga ukuthi bonke bethamela umsakazo Eswatini TV bagathe kuva ukuthi ikhambe kanjani impela sonvolo phelile.
While of course the border to border event was taking place from 5 in the morning, this man I got a call from this man saying that he has decided actually just to maybe changing an idea and go for the national championships for table tennis. There is a reason why he wanted to go to table tennis. Khona bafuna ukubona wahamba wafika watfola ini ku table tennis.
Fabrice lengakuthola the first ever tournament kule current buholi lobukhona la lapha eBosco Skill Center kaManzini beba host a tournament yabo. Very good tournament nawubuka ukuthi yekuqala and the players la labetawenda kahle la bebatawuthola isikhala sokuthi bayomelela live eSouth Africa. Badlala ke bobabe badlala nabomake because bekuyi tournament yabo bobabe nabomake. Badlala bomake kubomake cishe sorry kubobabe kwadlala labadlala kahle waba khona Mauritius waba senzaweni yokuqala Sanelo waba senzaweni yesibili kwase kuzimuzi waba senzaweni yesithathu nabomake nabo bebadlala kwangakabo kubomake siphesihle sihle smart kakhulu even naku skipping ropes yes cishe maningi lama sports lawadlalayo yes sihle waphuma enzaweni yokuqala kwase kuthi igcebile waphuma enzaweni yesibili nonduduzo waphuma enzaweni yesithathu so these two lokungusihle naye negcebile sihle from Africa egcebile from Eswatini revenue sengibo labamelela live the two yes so ngicabanga ukuthi batalimelela kahle live ngayibona le level ukuthi ayikho phasi kakhulu cishe bakho noma especially sihle the winner uyambona ukuthi better kule tournament le batilungiselela.
I want you to give a chance labantu labo lokhuluma ngabo master ukuthi basinike nje iview ukuthi they were the winners on the day bathomelela live basitshele ukuthi engabe kume kanjani but in terms of maybe your presence there master nyathi ukuthi kuya now thatha a decision ukuthi you want to go there thina ngelethi ndofuna ukutibona simuvele babezuru president akhara ngalesine ukuthi in terms of lama finances vile abake imekahle seke sayikhulumisa indzaba ye facility in terms of lama tafula wafika yini wakhanza ukuthi njengabantu ba organize i-national championships bathathu banato into tekudlala
Fabrice ngabuka lamatafula la lebadlala kuwo cishe angangasho ukuthi cishe that's an
understood
yabona this tables world class standard
true
world class standard ngasho nje ngithi kudos kubo table tennis association for organizing such tournament and bathole the right equipment the right tables.
Is that Mr. Mavusa? Sorry to cut you.
Yes Mr. Mavusa yes from EIS yes.
It's good to see journalists also taking part of such events.
Kakhulu and Fabrice I must say this loku appreciate because yena Mr. Mavuso wazi ngosami yathi as umdlali as a part of laba organizer babonga ukuthi Eswatini TV uyababambisa ekudeveloping ama sports inqumbi in the country so ngicabanga ukuthi table tennis is one of them and njengoba ngishilo ngathi the ladies
bayahamba laba bonke
no labang2 yes sihle lo semkhathini nagcibile lofake ijacket eblue ngibo number 1 na number 2 labaya eSouth Africa nonduduzo ngale wabasenzaweni yesithathu and ke kwaba nabonsumbulwana laba bathola kancane lengingasho nje ukuthi njengoba ngishithi yona i-table tennis lokuthi bakhokhe that money even if ngasimalene ngakhulu but lokuthi ba appreciate the winners ngicabanga ukuthi indvo lenhle kuyabakhuthaza ukuthi bende even better next time.
Now, the winners on the day, they have a chance to go represent the country. For over a decade, the country hasn't had a representative in an international tournament when it comes to table tennis. Sife and the likes, what do they have to say?
Asekhona makhulu vele msakade asekhona kakhulu siyacabanga lo ukuthi laba labadlalako ngibo labatasita bakhombise labanye ukuthi lo mdlalo uyadlaleka nalaba winile siyababongela ngoba nabo sebatawutshela abanye bosisi lapho indzaweni labahlala khona nalaba sebenza khona ukuthi ababuye batodlala i-table tennis ngumdlalo lodlalekayo ukuthi nje udzinga isikhathi msakade.
Kahle kakhulu bemidlalo bekamuhle badlalile cause yeah mambo mate nakavamise ukudlala table tennis but ke ngijabule ukuthi siyakhona lamanye nokuthi sitawuchubeka sifune nalamanye.
We've been trying to play table tennis and we've come this far. It's a game my ladies lawashota khona kakhulu so in essence we are pleading with my ladies abe khona. It would have been more of an experience ukuthi na more ladies.
Now, some of the speakers on the day, Kabile, Sihle, and President, all appreciating the event. The National Championships for the Table Tennis Association in over a decade. It means a lot for the sport that once was not affiliated under Eswatini Sports Education Council. Now, moving on, this man had to rush to Mhlamanyatsi. Ingudla yaseMhlamanyatsi kule mpelasonto bebambe umcimbi weshukuma Eswatini. Master wafika wakhanza in. Beka khona MP wakhona Petros Mavimbela. Belinjani ilanga lakhona?
Fabrice mhlambe kusho nako nje inkundla yasemhlambanyatsi labaningi bacaba ukuthi ila mhlambanyatsi uyahamba uye kaZondwako kaZondwako kundlula eBhunya emshinini uthathe sekwaba ne probase ungene nje ka right uhambe mbamba ubhekele etulu ngathi uyahamba hamba letinzabeni but nje ngicabanga ukuthi labantu bakaZondwako umphakathi wakaZondwako ngasho ngithi baphuma ngetinombolo kulabo shukuma cishe lengibabonile mina Matsanjeni North Nkwene nalabanye labanengi letinombolo lengitibone nala mina tinombolo letinhle kakhulu yes ngicabanga ukuthi bebajabulile ukuthi batawubona yona induna yetemidlalo Harris Bulunga kwaba nema activities ke activities labakhona and kwabonakala ngathi i-team yayo induna beyidominator against i-team yakhe MP lophinza abe ngispeaker khona eParliament Mhlonishwa Petros Mavimbela but njengoba ngisho ukuthi abamaningi lama activities netinhlangano ngekwehlukana kwato betikhona lebeti attendile yona le shukuma Eswatini but ke Fabrice ngetulu kwako konke ngithi ngisho ukuthi labanye bacabanga ukuthi shukuma nje ukuthi siyoshukumisa umtimba nangisakhulumisa letinhlangano lebeti khona lapha incumbi yato dijajuliswa ukuthi labahambe khona le response inhle kakhulu kulabamvu labasuka khona bashaya bathi sicela kujoyina le sport sifuna ukuzidlala ukhuluma tech ball labe ikhona le bonjabuliso nabo secretary Lwazi Ngwenyama bebakhona khona emhlambanyatsi enkundleni boxing beyikhona nayo rugby beyikhona cricket beyikhona athletics beyikhona even ngaba ingcenye ngagijima ngagijima volleyball nayo beyikhona ngicabanga ukuthi Fabrice njoba ngisho ukuthi is more than lokuthi bashukumisa but lokufundzisa lama sports ukuthi kudlalwa kanjani pool nayo beyikhona matafula bekakhona bekudlala bathola lithuba lecompete.
They have it. Now, umuvela dlamini ukuthi naye vele beyingcenye laba ngenela umcimbi wokugijima siyacabanga ukuthi bokutilolonga nje kuphela hayi ukuthi bocompete ngabe bocompete ke stack charge ngoba kusho ukuthi nasendela umbiko vele ngeke kube fair ngoba ngeke ukuthi ibhare ukuthi compete kanjani. Now, some of the speakers on the day had something to say about the tournament, about the day, the Shuguma Day, about the initiative and about the attendance of members of the resident of the Mhlambanyatsi constituency, including the Minister for Sports, Harris Bulunga.
Bantu bayeta bashukuma kungasibo labantu kuphela ukuthi sitohlanyela umoya wekuthi batayele nje kushukumisa umtimba batohlala baphilile. Sihamba nayo onke lama associations etemidlalo lesicabanga ukuthi abantu abakayidayeli batayele kudlala ibhola lamakhaya mhlambe ne-netball but thina sithi abati ukuthi kune volleyball sithe siba demonstrate sita nale association yaka volleyball sita na tech ball sita na boxing sita na tennis sita na pool onke lama sports so that umuntu lomusha atokhona lokho ukuthi abone ukuthi uyathi mina naku lokungangilungela bese soyadlala uyalandzelela. Siyathemba ukuthi as umuntu wathi itfola lokuthi likhono lakhe lingakuphi live litaw benefit ngoba kusho ukuthi lo hlobo lwemidlalo lasawujoyinile sona malunga lamasha lawo malunga kungenteka abe sesigabeni sokuthi agcine sekafika ezingeni lokuthi angadlala maybe ku national team amelele live nasemidlalweni yangaphandle.
Ngabonga sona sive sala ekithi emhlambanyatsi lo ukuthi siphume sithenge bunyenti bawo kulomsebenzi lomcokana kangaka lapho sicale khona ngokuvocavoca khona umtimba nyalo sesibukela nayi i-culture lesikhutsatako ukuthi konke emaswati akayingenele ukuze ubosita ukhumbula ukuthi sikhamukaphi and futhi siyaphi.
Namibili eminyaka kepha-ke ngisakhona kudlala, ngisakhona kuhamba, ngisakhona nekugijima cause bengingumdlali webhola ngisakhula. Ngaleyo ndlela lo mtimba kwetayele lokuvocavoceka.
Yes, siyafunza konke. Buka sengifundzile shot put angase ngayijika before but namhla sengiyijikile.
Simnanzi kakhulu ngoba naku siyajima. Nje sengifomile mina ngifike nje kuseni solo ngiyajika but le bhola lena kanjeni. Phosi ifana nefootball kahle kahle. But nje ngapronyota ngoba iyaqinisa emamasela ugcina sinawe sowungumuntu loqinile.
I'm so excited just because I was having Lewile Guti Rugby, Senge, maybe ngibe exposed to it. Then today it's my first time. Ngiyaqala nekuthinza ibhola yerugby. So ngijabule kakhulu.
Sibemango. Sichazeke kakhulu nje ngekuthola iboxing. Nathi kwakungathi singahamba nabo sigcina sesihamba siyonda le boxing khona labakhona khona siqhubeke nema practice.
Now, that's how things were at Mhlambanyas. Of course, some of the residents giving us a reaction, the MP, the minister. It was indeed a fun-filled test. Now, in the remaining few minutes, we look at now. Yes, quick one, Master.
15 seconds, Fabrice. Ngifuna kubonga chairman wayo portfolio committee under sports Minister of Sports Parliament. MP was yes, MP Vulimpompi. Yes. Always nakunashukuma yes nakunashukuma Eswatini mhlala khona beka khona cishe nje on the last 3 oboshukuma beka khona so singasho ukuthi ku supporter I portfolio committee lengaphasi kwakho ngicabanga ukuthi into lenhle le.
Leading by example, you do what you preach. Now that's what Mr. Vulimpompi is doing in the past few competitions or events of Shukuma Eswatini. These are some of the competitions.
Unfortunately bekude mbekadla ngishutha bekungibali meta ubamba iCamera.
Isaluza man. Now, who will now get a chance to give us a view on what Kosafa is going to tell us this year. Now, Sitlang Samnigat has been joined in Group B Master. Quick one against Lesotho, Mauritius, if I'm not mistaken, in Malawi.
Yes, Mauritius, Malawi, Lesotho.
Yes, Group B. What's your take on that? We heard also good news. Lesotho have announced a new coach. Malawi, we know they're from AFCON. Mauritius also a new coach. Are these maybe news that they have announced this, they have got this, they have got that, they have got this? Should we be scared based on the group?
Fabrice njoba ushothi Lesotho announce coach lomusha Malawi bataqhubeka in fact AFCON bekunathiwa bo coach including Mark Mwase Mark Mwase so bese so sebamiyekelisa kwaqhubeka the white guy ulotawulita yona Malawi. Mauritius we know ukuthi Mauritius incumbi lama tournament besibanayo Mauritius. I remember 3 years ago that Scully goal, beautiful goal last scorer against Mauritius. So I think as much as bangacaba ukuthi it's a group lelula le axi group lelula Malawi bacamke babuya AFCON Lesotho ibuya good draw ne Ivory Coast kuma AFCON qualifiers. So ngacaba ukuthi yeah so ngacaba ukuthi itaba likhulu kanganani le group le end basimele ke if siphuma kule group lena basimele the likes of Senegal, South Africa, Zimbabwe kuma quarter finals, because if sikona ukuthi siphume kule group lena sesiya straight kuma quarter finals.
All right, I want us to give a chance just to listen to some of the speakers on the day, but a quick one, Master. Time has been given for coach Dominic Kunene, as we can see also from group A and group B, as you can see the standing bys of the South African, Zambia and everything. But now, Master, would you really get a chance as a coach? Would you request for a friendly before this tournament? I mean, now they have got 2 weeks before. Namuhla it's Mhlaga 16, the tournament starts Mhlaga 5. Would you request babene friendly? I mean, the league was competitive for us. Would you say Sihlangu deserve maybe a friendly before getting into this competition?
Maybe before sifike lapho Fabrice ngicela kuchazela ukuthi why si draw etsine lamanye ama teams avela already kuma quarter finals.
Yes.
We remember ukuthi last year last year sathola i-bronze this year masichubeka senta kahle ku COSAFA then nathi stabe sesiyahamba sekuma-quarter finals ngeke basadraw kulama groups but nyalo nangabe siwina sisithopa siyongena kule sihlenge lesisibonile lapha but ngibuyele kumbutweni wakho ukuthi bekungalunga yini ukuthi sithole i-friendly game. I believe sitayithola i-friendly game before i-COSAFA yalunyaka. I strongly believe sitayithola i-friendly game i-COSAFA. In fact the president lo ngenile office eminyakeni lophelile ubelieve kakhulu ukuthi team kumele be nama preparations so I want to believe ukuthi even this time around before COSAFA tournament sitawathola ima-friendly games.
I want us to listen to Chairman Timothy Shonga before who do you are we going through straight to the quarterfinals?
Oh yes.
Stayishaya Lesotho.
Lesotho stayishaya, Mauritius stayishaya, i-team letabalkuni Malawi.
You've been always spot on. Thank you very much for your presence, and we do hope that what you're telling us is what we're going to see in the upcoming days. There you have it. That is Linda Dlamini, our in-house analyst. As we leave you with Chairman Timothy Shonga speaking during the COSAFA Cup draw. What does he have to say about the organizing committee and everything that has to do with COSAFA? Otherwise, until we meet again, me and the crew and the entire station,
on behalf of COSAFA, I normally say on behalf of the president of COSAFA, and fortunately today he is present. I'm not going to say on behalf of him because he is here. I would like to recognize my president, firstly, Mr. Atur, who is the new president of COSAFA, and Mr. Said Ali, who is the Vice President of COSAFA, a brand new one too, and Ubaba Ukansela Umgadi, siyajabula baba, ngipinde futhi ngivusele umama uFikile uDr. Fikile Ngwenya obuya e-office lika Premier, siyajabula uba siba nawe lapha, nobabe ke na ubaba uNdimande. Kulela lakithi sithi unzimanze. It's the same thing. I'm sure you understand that. You have observed the draw here today, and it is a very exciting one. We have Senegal coming back as a visitor. You remember they almost won the COSAFA Cup, the last edition, and thank you to South Africa for not allowing that to happen. Look at Comoros today. After taking part, participating in COSAFA competitions and learning and developing, where are they today? I've never seen Zambia celebrating a win against Comoros at home so much the way they were celebrating in the recent African Cup of Nations. I'm not sure whether some of you watched that match. It was like they've won the competition already. They played in COSAFA against Comoros and they never celebrated that. They celebrated this time around because they are aware, they understand how Comoros have come. They've played in the African Cup of Nations finals. So this is what we want you to see. This is development to us. When we see that, by the way, as a competitions man, Comoros was the only team that participated in the first tranche qualifiers of African Cup of Nations that had player names at the back of their jerseys. Everyone else, it was either a number and a flag. Comoros had the names of players at the back of their jerseys. To me, it may sound a small thing to people, but to me, that's progress. That is development. So thank you very much, eThekwini, Babu Mngadi. Thank you very much, Safa. We are ready. The teams are ready, and we are coming here to celebrate. We know we all, as I'm from Eswatini, lamanzi lawan. These floods, sonke asikhalisile, tihlitiyo tibhlungu, siyathemba ukuthi abantu batawuthola lithuba lokuthi kube khona mhlambe lekubajabulisako lokuncane ngekubukela le midlalo. I thank you very much.
The World Health Organization records that about 48 million couples and 186 million individuals experience infertility concerns globally. Infertility issues among women due to abnormalities of the ovaries, fallopian tubes, uterus, among others, drive the demand for advanced reproductive treatments. Egg retrieval, or egg harvesting as many would call it, is a surgical procedure done to remove the eggs from a woman's ovaries to freeze them for future use or for the intravitreal fertilization process. The procedure is becoming quite popular in Nigeria, South Africa and Egypt. With its rise in popularity, some egg donors are increasingly seeing it as a quick way to make money. This against the backdrop that most African countries do not have legal frameworks to regulate the sector. So on this episode of The She Word, we find out what should be done to protect egg donors from possible exploitation. Welcome to The She Word, for real talk on stories connecting today's African women. I am Grace Kuria Kanja. The egg donation market was valued at over $1 billion in the year 2020. The Global Market Insights estimates the sector is expected to grow by 19% by the year 2027. While many in the developed world have embraced egg donation, fertility treatments are still frowned upon by many Africans. Eve Masawi spoke to 35-year-old Pumlana Batra from Uganda, a regular egg donor. She shares her experience.
It is while waiting for a doctor's appointment to undergo tubal ligation in the UK that Pumla Navacha heard about egg donation.
I overheard a conversation between two slightly older African women, and they were going through a deep conversation about how they had failed for years and years, been trying to have a child, to have children, but they were not able to. And their last option now was egg donation. So when I entered the gynecologist's room, I didn't ask about getting my tubes tied. I asked her, what is the process for egg donation?
She would later come to learn that the demand for egg donors is growing in her home country, Uganda. Infertility is a practical concern among Africans. According to World Health Organization, 186 million people are affected by infertility globally. The average rate is estimated to be between 8 to 12%. In Africa, some studies have been established that it could be at 30%. And in Uganda, 10 to 15% couples are affected. Pumla, the mother to the 12-year-old boy, has since donated a total of 51 eggs. But this process, she says, comes at a cost.
You have to inject yourself twice a day in the stomach. using hormones, and that's really to increase the size of the ovaries and make them more viable. So the first 2 weeks, the pain is more psychological. Then in the last 2